Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your girl Adriana DC. Tonight's video is going to be a perfume haul video. I have recently hauled some very hyped up fragrances in the perfume community. Majority of them are new releases, and there's one or two of them that I just wanted to add to my perfume collection because they are, part of the most hyped up fragrances right now in the, perfume community. So tonight I am going to be trying these fragrances out. I have smelled these fragrances just one time, like literally, because I got them. Majority of these fragrances arrived in my possession like yesterday or the day before. So I haven't really played with them, but I have tried the scents out, and I'm going to be giving you guys pretty much my second impression of these fragrances and give you guys my thoughts and let you guys know how I feel about the perfume and whether or not these fragrances live up to this hype that they have on YouTube. So if you guys are interested in hearing my thoughts on popular new releases and hyped up fragrances right now in the perfume community, then by all means keep on watching. If you guys are new here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit the notification bell so that way you will be notified every single time I upload. And for those of you who are my returning subscribers, thank you guys for your continuous support, and let's just dive right into it, you guys. So this first fragrance was actually sent to me, and the fragrance I'm talking about is by Juice Parfums, and this is Spicy Delice. So this is one of the most recent releases from the brand. It was released in 2022, and I selected this particular scent because I was intrigued by the note structure of this particular scent. And let's just get into the notes before I give you guys my thoughts. So, Spicy Delice has top notes of ginger, cardamom, pink pepper. In the heart, we have some cloves, nutmeg, cinnamon, and Havana. In the base, we have some vanilla and amberwood. And let me just give you guys my second impression because I literally received this fragrance today. So this is the second spray. Okay. All right, so immediately when I smelled this perfume, I got a very, very prominent, spicy, dry, a little bit green cardamom note in the opening, okay? Very spicy fragrance with a slight cologne feel to it. This has a cologne-like, essence to it. When I smelled it earlier, the opening was very piercing, quite harsh, and very spicy. You got a lot of the cardamom and the ginger, okay? But when it went into the heart, it did something almost magical, very beautiful. The heart went into a very warm, a little bit sweet, and it still kept the spicy touches to it, but it came off kind of like a cognac essence. I remember smelling the fragrance and it just kept, what came to mind is cognac. I don't know if it's somewhat of a spicy, boozy feel to the fragrance, but the heart of the perfume is warm and very cozy, despite the opening of the fragrance coming off quite harsh and very much piercing and with that cologne essence. And then as the fragrance begins to warm up on the skin, you get a lot of that spicy cinnamon mixing with that sweet vanilla and the amberwood. So this is a woody fragrance, but not like a predominantly woody fragrance. It is a beautifully finely blended scent with the essence of cardamom, ginger, and some cinnamon, and a very beautiful dose of sweetness that makes this fragrance perfectly unisex in my opinion. Now, this perfume is completely beast mode, you guys. Like when I smelled this fragrance, it hit me straight to the nostrils. It is a very strong scent, very piercing perfume that kind of focuses on that beautiful note of cardamom and ginger, and of course the vanilla and the amberwood in the base. A beautiful smelling fragrance in my opinion. Definitely has some powdery touches to it. I would resolve this. This is a cold weather fragrance. This is a winter scent. You can wear it in the fall, but I will say I have a bit of a cold right now, and this literally hit me to the nostrils today. And I don't know if it's because my sinuses are a little bit irritated, but this like hit me in the face when I sprayed it today, you guys. But again, as it settles down, it goes into a very warm and cozy and spicy, beautiful, sweet cardamom scent. The company also gave me a discount code for you guys to check this fragrance out and of course get 10% off on whichever fragrance you decide to purchase. So by all means, to use my code. Check out the description box for the discount code. But yeah, This was a pleasant surprise because this is the first and only fragrance that I have from Juice Parfums, and the fragrances always came off so playful and colorful because I usually see the bright green, bright yellow bottles, and I wasn't expecting this perfume, but this is a fall and winter essential fragrance. This is a beast mode, a very striking, cozy, warm, and spicy, a little bit woody fragrance with slight, somewhat cologne type touches in my opinion. But this is an absolute love, and I will be playing with this fragrance throughout the fall and winter season. Next up, I got my hands on another fragrance that's been hyped up on YouTube for quite some time, and it took me a while to get this fragrance. Not because it didn't attract me, but I'm gonna tell you why it took me so long to get this fragrance. But the fragrance that I'm talking about is Afnan's Modest Dough. This beautiful burgundy, kind of like plum shade bottle, you know, with like slight diamond-like touches, because of course this fragrance is meant to be an inspired version of La Nuit from Lancome, and I was most definitely intrigued. Okay, of course, why not? I want to say to you, whenever people review this fragrance, what was most captivating is the presence of chocolates. Yeah, but let's get into the notes. Okay, let me just tell you guys about these chocolates. The notes in Afnan Modest Dough is strawberries, dark chocolate, raspberry, and cherry in the top. Middle notes are vanilla and spices. Base notes are patchouli, gardenia, and musk. And I'm gonna say this perfume is an absolutely beautiful smelling fragrance. Okay, when I first smelled the fragrance, it opens up with a bright, rich burst of dark, juicy, red, fruity touches, in my opinion. You got like a, without reading the notes, I got like a rich, dark, wild berries, juicy cherries, juicy strawberries with some syrupy cherry essence. I got a very rich, decadent, red, fruity essence in the opening with a slight touch of spices with some sweetness, and it dried down into somewhat of a, I would say, a more patchouli base in my opinion. Nice and warm, and the fragrance, I want to say, you got the elements in this fragrance a lot more than you can capture the elements in the original La Nuit, okay? Which brought me to this realization, or this observation. These Middle Eastern brands, what they're doing is they're scoping out the popular fragrances out there, and they are answering the consumer's problem, in my opinion. When I first discovered La Nuit, most people said the fragrance smelled like a mishmash of a bunch of notes. Now, La Nuit has everything and the kitchen sink inside of it. It literally does. But you can't pinpoint what fruity touches you're smelling. And so much for, I think there's praline and vanilla original La Nuit. You don't get those stuff. You just get a really beautiful, intoxicating, fruity, sweet, warm, playful scent that's very that has a lot of presence, that projects and definitely garners you a lot of compliments. So that's a plus. It's beautiful. You know, I'm not questioning La Nuit at all. It's a beautiful fragrance. This perfume simplifies the La Nuit DNA, and they kind of like add a bit more richness to those fruity elements like the strawberries and the cherries and the oat, mixing with the juicy raspberries, and it's beautiful. It's a very decadent. The opening of this fragrance alone is the most mesmerizing part of this perfume. However, it ain't got no chocolates, and I'm upset. I am all the way upset. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a beautiful perfume, and I wore it in the project. It wore beautifully. It's a sexy, fruity fragrance. I will say that. It's a sexy, fruity chick fragrance. You know, kind of, it's like a red Lamborghini, or the red Ferrari that you see driving up the road. This bright spanking red. And even though they say red is a cliched color, once you see a red classic, you know, Ferrari or a Lambo, it's like, it's striking, it's beautiful, it's sexy. But I did not want to have two fragrances in my collection that smell the exact same. I don't like that. I'm a bit annoyed. Ain't got no chocolates in here. They lying. Either the YouTubers are lying or Fragrantica is lying. But somebody lying, because ain't got no goddamn chocolates in here. And I ain't like that. Okay, I ain't like that at all. But it is a beautiful fragrance. I will have to say to you, despite, you know, the layers in this fragrance are the top note, top mid and base notes being clearly identifiable, when you smell this fragrance in the dry down, you cannot really tell the difference between this one and the Lenny Trezor. In my opinion, you cannot tell the difference at all. So that's very interesting and that's very beautiful in my opinion. So Afnan's Modest Door is an absolutely spectacular inspiration, or even a fragrance on a whole. And it's not even that expensive. On its own, this is the most beautiful scent ever, and it doesn't necessarily smell cheaper than the La Nuit Trésor at all. So this is a scrumptious fragrance. However, I am positive that it would have been a lot more scrumptious if we got them goddamn chocolates though. Next up, I got myself the ever so popular, well raved about, it's like a flag right now on YouTube, and I got myself Valentino's Pink PP. And you guys, I promise you guys it wasn't intentional. I didn't realize that I was pretty in pink to match my Valentino Pink PP. Okay, I did not, but I did know that I wanted to play with some pink eyeshadow tonight, so I absolutely did. But I finally got my hands on Valentino's Pink PP, and let me just take a moment. I know you've seen this bottle all over YouTube. I'm just like give you guys the fragrance. I know you guys have seen this fragrance like all over YouTube, and it is a very striking and stunning sight. Absolutely beautiful bottle. That is for certain. Without buying the fragrance, you know that this is a beautiful bottle, very capturing, very attractive, and I had to have it because I'm a bottle snob. Okay, they made this bottle for us, people like myself. Okay. Let me give you guys the notes on Valentino Pink PP. So Valentino Pink PP, Valentino Donna Born in Roma Pink PP, whatever that means, has in top notes of Calabrian Mandarin, middle notes of orange blossom, and base notes of bourbon vanilla. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me just see Fragrantica. Ooh, they held it all the way back from us, you guys. They held everything back from us in this perfume. And again, this is the second time that I'm gonna be smelling this perfume. Okay, I lie. I actually wore this perfume. I wore it. So this one came a little bit earlier, and I sprayed it when I unboxed it, and then I wore it out of the house. And let me just give you guys my thoughts. So let me just I need to be reminded, to be honest, because now when I sprayed this perfume, the one word that came to mind was interesting. This fragrance is very interesting. Okay, when I sprayed this perfume, it was as if I had never ever watched one single review on this perfume. And to be honest with you, maybe I didn't, but I feel like I did. Okay, yes, I did. But when I sprayed this perfume, it was interesting smelling, and I was like, I didn't even remember what people said it was supposed to smell like. Now, I've heard people describe it as a mixture of Oriana and the original Valentino Born in Roma Intense, Born in Roma. Now, I don't have Oriana. I have smelled it before, and I know it's a lighter, more florally vibe of somewhat of a Love Don't Be Shy DNA. But that's about it. For me, what I get from this perfume, when I open it, I get like sweet, fresh florals. I get a lot of florals, and there is like a very prominent, soapy, clean, a little bit green essence. That's what I got. Like my initial reaction, I got like a soapy, florally vibe. Slight, there was a citrus element, and there was something a little bit green, like a bergamot. There's definitely a bergamot. They didn't highlight bergamot, but there has to be some bergamot in this perfume. Okay, they have Calabrian Mandarin and orange blossom. Yes, you're definitely getting the orange blossom. That's it. It's a very heightened, soapy, a little bit sharp in my opinion, orange blossom essence. Very beautiful, enveloping, florally aspect to this perfume. It's a little bit sweet, and right, I'm getting the bourbon vanilla, but it's like beautifully blended with the orange blossom. Okay, this is a beautiful smelling fragrance, but it's different. Okay, I also saw somebody say that when you spray this perfume, you initially get remnants of the Born in Roma, the original Born in Roma. And I got that when I wore it. Like when the initial burst, when you spray it, you definitely get the remnants of the original Born in Roma, even though they didn't highlight all of the notes. So you get that. But this is a whole different vibe from the Valentino Bond in Roma. In my opinion, it's a completely different vibe. It was like, the fragrance took me by surprise, and I didn't like, I felt like I didn't know what to expect. I felt like it was like something different. Like, I don't know, it was something, it was not like exactly what I expected, but at the same time, I don't even know if I knew what to expect from this fragrance. I just like, yeah, I just had to get the hot pink bottle, and I probably didn't pay attention to the notes much and what people were saying. I figured, you know, a combination of Oriana and Valentina Bond and Roma, beautiful, yeah, right? I mean, come on. And yeah, it's a really beautiful perfume. And again, it smelled interesting, okay? And as it dried down, you're getting more of that bourbon vanilla, okay? You get more of the base of the original Valentino Bond and Roma. And I wore this perfume, and it projected beautifully. So this has a very pleasant wearing experience. The florals project and they sit on the skin. Again, it's clean yet sweet and really, really pretty. As for comparing it to the Bond and Roma, the Bond and Roma has a whole different presence. This is a really beautiful, elegant floral fragrance with some, there is a nice sweetness to this perfume. Not too sharp, not too bright, but you are getting the citrusy elements, and it goes into a beautiful essence. The orange blossom mixing with the bourbon vanilla is very beautiful, okay? And probably the most beautiful part of the fragrance, okay? This was a very pleasant wearing experience, and I definitely found this scent profile to be very, very interesting, you guys. So for me, Valentino Bond and Roma Pink, this is pretty. This is a really pretty smelling fragrance. Not exactly what I expected. To be honest, I don't even know what I was expecting, but I do love the scent profile and the wearing experience of this fragrance. So this is Valentino's Pink PP. Can't tell you guys about the longevity. I will always say to you, it definitely lasts because it's staying on my clothes. It definitely lasts. It definitely has presence. It definitely has good sillage. As for a time frame for how long it lasts, I don't know, but I don't think you need to worry about this fragrance at all because it's decent. It is definitely a decent release in my opinion. Next up, I got my hands on Cherry Ambition by the Seven Virtues, and I am happy to finally have a fragrance from the Seven Virtues in my collection. I have been seeing Vanilla Woods. I think I actually mentioned this fragrance in the most hyped up fragrances on YouTube right now. I did a video with all the hyped up fragrances, and I didn't think I mentioned this one, and I had my eyes on Vanilla Woods, and then all of a sudden this came out. You guys, I'm struggling. I have a list of fragrances, and clearly you can see that hardly any of the fragrances that are on that list is in this haul because I went on to buy them, but something else came up. Like literally something else came up. And I saw that Cherry Ambition is a new release, and I like the views that it got. I like the reviews. I like the idea. I like the vibe. So I decided, like, hey, why not, right? Let's try Cherry Ambition. Let me just give you guys the notes in Cherry Ambition. So Cherry Ambition has, in the top notes, we have some cherry, of course, pink pepper, marshmallows, and mandarin orange. In the middle notes, we have some saffron, cherry blossom, iris, and osmanthus. In the base notes, we have vanilla, frankincense, amber, musk, and some guaiac wood. And with that alone, I was sold, okay? Like, what more, right? Okay. I'm running out of places, okay? Now, now I will say to you, my first impression, this perfume opens up with a deep, dark, a little bit, it's like a deep, thick, syrupy cherry, in my opinion. It smells very refined, very refreshing. You get the marshmallow, but I get a lot of the guaiac wood. So there's a beautiful sweetness, like a light, creamy sweetness to this fragrance. But then it goes into like the guaiac wood. I'm getting the guaiac wood. And there's also some saffron. So you're getting the saffron in here so as well, mixing with that beautiful cherry note. This is a beautiful fragrance. However, when I sprayed this perfume, it took me straight to Kyalie's Love Fest Burning Cherry. This is a very, 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 very similar offering to Kyalie's Love Fest Burning Cherry. However, Love Fest Burning Cherry is not this sweet. It is a bit more warmer. It is not as intoxicating. There's something a little bit more intoxicating and deeper, and I want to say a little bit darker than Love Fest. Kylie Love Fest went a little bit soft. You sprayed it and it just went really soft and really warm. This one kept it really deep and strong, and of course the saffron in here, so but it's not a lot of spice to me. It's like the presence of the saffron itself, but not more of the spicy vibes. I don't know how to describe that, but that's what I get. I want to say you do get a little bit of the frankincense in here, so, and the ambery vibes, but this is not frontline. What frontline in here so is deep syrupy dark cherries with that saffron and that sexy marshmallowy essence with the guaiac wood. In my opinion, this is a beautiful smelling fragrance. Not only is it a beautiful smelling fragrance, I got this perfume and I sprayed it with 3 other perfumes, and this perfume blew every single one of them away. Like, in comparison to Vanilla Pink P, it's stronger. And I tried on Love Fest Burning Cherry, and this one blew it out the park. I also tried out another fragrance that I had on that I'm going to tell you guys about, and this one blew it out the park as well. The projection on this is fantastic. It is superb, okay? It is very outstanding in my opinion. As for the longevity, it stayed with me for quite some time, but I think what I was doing, I can't remember what I was smelling, so I kind of like lose track. But this fragrance stayed with me for the time that I had this scent on, and it blew every other scent that I wore that day out of the park. So I am very, very pleased with this fragrance. However, it does bear extremely similar resemblance to Love Fest Burning Cherry, and that's okay. I don't have a lot of cherry fragrances because I didn't chase down all the cherry fragrances, unfortunately, like everybody else. So shit, one more cherry fragrance, I'm happy with that. So this is Cherry Ambition 7x7 Virtues. This is absolute love for me, you guys, and I look forward to playing with this fragrance throughout the fall and winter season. Next up, we have Libre, the L'Absolu Platine. And let me just give you guys a moment. I know you've seen this fragrance all over social media. This fragrance might as well had been rolled out on a big band with a banner and trumpets and everything, and carry the fragrance on like a red carpet, because this bottle is so spectacular looking, you guys. I mean, Pink PP, you can see it from a mile away, but oh my lord, it is a joy to look at this fragrance up close and personal, because it is absolutely beautiful, you guys. Now, this is my least anticipated purchase, okay? However, you guys know I am a lover of Libre on a whole, the entire line. And when I saw this fragrance, the reviews were less than savoring. They weren't bad or anything, but they were like, oh, it smells just like the original, and it doesn't project that much, it doesn't last that long, and it's almost redundant. It's softer and it smells like the original, and you don't need both. That's a lie. You need both. You need this one and the original and all the others. Let's just get to the notes, okay? So YSL L'Absolu Platine, or Libre L'Absolu Platine, has in top notes of aldehydes, bergamot, and mandarin orange. In the middle, we have some lavender, blue lavender, and orange blossom. In the base note, you have some vanilla and amber. Now, when I sprayed this perfume, I was so pleasantly surprised, you guys. I was like, man, okay. When this fragrance opens up, it opens up citrusy and pretty. It gives you a very prominent lavender note mixing with white florals. You get the aldehydes in here, so, but YSL played this fragrance a little bit daring. They threw in a lot more lavender, even though people felt like lavender gave the original a bit of a masculine feel, but they were like, no, 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 no. Let's play with the lavender. Let's add some aldehydes, make it warm, you know, make it a bit softer, round it up a little bit, add some florally touches to it through the aldehydes, and amp up the lavender, add some citrusy touches to it, and a bit of powderiness. And let me tell you something. This, by far, in this entire haul, was my most impressive purchase, you guys. Like, I was not expecting it. Like, I just knew that I had to have it in my collection. That's why I got it in a smaller bottle. I just knew that, you know, I just had to have it. I had to have that bottle. Had to have that, you know, that Libre DNA. It's a new release. I didn't get the Le Parfum because I have the Intense and I have the Eau de Toilette and I have a small bottle of the original. And I felt like, you know what, I'm good, right? But I just needed to get this in my collection. And I am so happy that I did. I'm mad that I got the small bottle, you guys. Like I come to Sheree, this is good. It's like really good. It's like a really warm, it has a warm essence to this fragrance. The heart of the perfume, it is a bit softer and it's just getting aldehydes, florals, citruses, and the lavender. Despite that, this is an all year round fragrance. Now, to compare it to the original, I immediately, you know, did a comparison side by side when I smelt it. This is different from, it is different from and different enough from the original. The original is muskier and still sharper and still brighter. Even though people are saying that this one is a bit more cleaner, the original YSL Libre, it is sharper, brighter, and muskier. And even though this one has an amped up dose of lavender, the musk and the lavender in the original is done in a different way that it comes off harsh. But this one is much more well-rounded. It is, I would say, a little bit powdery. And the florals is just like bright white florals with lots of lavender. And it's such a beautiful smelling fragrance. This by far was my most spectacular purchase, you guys, and I'm just really happy that I got it, and I look forward to wearing this fragrance. I love that it can be worn all year round. I love that this fragrance has enough presence and it projects like crazy. Okay, hello. Now I don't know about longevity, but it projects like crazy. It's like booming. It's like, you know, it's like in your face. It's dear. It's not like in compared to the original, I don't see a difference in the projection, in my opinion. The original projects, but it projects a bit more heavier, in my opinion. When I say heavier, the way the lavender is done is still heavier. Even though the lavender is amped up, I don't feel like it's more unisex than the original. I actually feel the original is more unisex than this one because the lavender in here is done in the most unusual and beautiful way. I don't know. It's just a really beautiful take on lavender. Something about the lavender in here. Oh, God. It's so beautiful, you guys. It's even a little bit soapy, a little bit clean and fresh. This is an absolutely beautiful smelling fragrance. Again, that can be worn all year round. Even if it couldn't be worn all year round, I'll be wearing it anyways. So YSL Libre, the L'Absolu Platine, in my opinion, is absolutely divine, you guys. Next up, I got my hands on the ever popular, the ever raved about, the ever talked about Bianco Latte by Giardini di Toscana. I always want to call that name for you guys. Now, this fragrance has been popping up. It's like, it's been rearing its head, like, you know. I discovered this perfume, I think, again, on I Am Noel's page, okay? And after that, once I saw it there, I was like, this perfume sounds interesting. Bianco Latte, the name. And then after that, it kept popping up. It's like, a, you know, just like a field of bushes and white flowers just pop up. They just, you know, keep popping up. That's what this fragrance, that's what the occurrence of this fragrance was like, you know, hearing about its scent. And I was intrigued. I was absolutely intrigued. Now, this is a vanilla fragrance, and you'd think that I would run for Nishani Annie more, but this fragrance somehow captured me more than Nishani Annie. I don't know why, but yeah, it did. Okay, let me just tell you guys the notes. So this fragrance has top notes of caramel, middle notes of coumarin and honey, and base notes of vanilla and white musk. And when I sprayed this fragrance today, before I can do this, the fragrance just hit me in the ear. It filled up this room, you guys. And what did I get? I got a soft, warm, caramelized, slightly creamy, I want to say slightly milky, but not like overdose of milkiness. A slightly creamy, almost lactonic vanilla essence, okay? And the caramel, of course, in the opening, like a light caramel. It's like, I don't drink, you know, lattes or whatever, but this is like a caramelized, milky, warm, soft, fluffy, mildly sweetened fragrance. Beautiful scent that fills up a room, you guys. Absolutely scrumptious. Now, this one literally came today, so I'm giving you my second impression because I got it and I sprayed it and that was it. Now, let me see if I can find anywhere to spray this perfume to reconfirm how I feel. Yeah. Has a nice milkiness in the heart. A beautiful, warm, creamy, milky caramel vibe in the heart. It has like a powderiness to it, and it has like a light spiciness for me. So it's just like a really warm and beautiful scent. And again, spraying this perfume, it hit me in the nose, like literally hit me in the nostrils, and it's taken over this entire room right now. And I like it. I like this perfume. What I don't understand is why hasn't anybody highlighted that this fragrance smells very, very similar to Vanilla Oud by Kylie. This is a much more piercing, a much more sharper, a much more, I want to say, I'm not going to say well blended, but it's a bit more, it has more presence. It has a lot more presence than the Vanilla Oud, but this is in the same vein. It is very, very, very similar to the Vanilla Oud. So I do like that, but it definitely gives me vibes. It definitely gave me vibes of the Vanilla Oud big time, like really, really close to it. Not that that discredits the fragrance or anything like that, but this definitely gives me Kylie Vanilla Oud vibes, or should I say Kylie Vanilla Oud vibes gives me Bianco Latte vibe. Either way you put it, both of them are really scrumptious, and I'm really, really happy to have this fragrance in my perfume collection. This is really nice. This is a really nice take on vanilla, in my opinion. Next up, we have Tonka Cola by Mancera. And I thought that my craze for Mancera was over. I haven't bought any fragrances from Mancera in a very long time. I haven't been keeping up with them, but you know, when I started doing YouTube, Mancera was a vibe. It was like my top 5. It was one of my top 5 fragrance houses or fragrance brands, in my opinion, because they were unique, they were really different, very exciting, very much out of the ordinary. And yeah, I haven't like tried anything new from the brand, and I kind of slowed down on my purchases from Mancera. But this one piqued my curiosity. So let's discuss the notes in Tonka Cola. Tonka Cola has in top notes of cinnamon, cherry, Sicilian lemon, and nutmeg. Middle notes are Coca-Cola, Indonesian patchouli leaf, and orange blossom. And in the base, we have some tonka bean, vanilla, benzoin, and labdanum. What do I get? Now, let me just talk you guys through my initial experience. When I first sprayed this perfume, I thought to myself, like, this is like very interesting. It was interesting, but still likable. Like immediately, like it was like, this smells different. Now, I know it's meant to smell like a cherry Tonka Cola fragrance or a cherry cola scent, okay? But for me, what I got, you know, back in the day, you had chiclets. You still got chiclets around. But, you know, it had the red chiclets. It had like a red peppermint, like, sweet chiclets. And that's the vibe that I got from this perfume. And it was a very interesting take, very interesting scent. But the wear of this perfume is where it gets really, really beautiful and really scrumptious, in my opinion. Now, for me, when I spray this perfume, I get loads of cherry, lots of cinnamon, okay? I get like a slightly woody vibe, but it doesn't go all the way woody, okay? It gives you like a powdery, woody essence, in my opinion. And I believe some people describe a fizziness to this perfume. Maybe that's what's giving off a fizzy. There's like the woody, like the wood. It's like it's coming off like a finely woody chipped essence, in my opinion. But it's not drying down to be all the way woody. And of course, in the base, you have your vanilla, your labdanum. I'm getting a lot of the labdanum, you guys. This is a beautiful smelling fragrance. I am coming to the realization that I like labdanum in fragrances. And of course, you have your tonka bean and your benzoin, you know, kind of balancing off this interesting smelling perfume. The wear of this perfume is really, really beautiful. It's very interesting, very different for me. And I like that. I like when I smelled this perfume, I said to myself, you know what? These perfume brands, these designer houses, they have been listening to the consumers' complaints. You guys are saying that the fragrances are meh, and they're, you know, redundant, and they smell basic, and they this, and they did that, and they are challenging you guys. I'm going to say to you guys, this overall haul has been challenging for me. It has been different and nothing like what I expected any of these fragrances to smell like. It was like, you know, it didn't come to me and I was like, oh my God, like this is beautiful. It was like, I had to like feel it out first. So for me, this is a beautiful fragrance. I love the scent profile. I love the projection, and you know Mancera does not come to play, so you don't even need to ask. This is a solid wearing experience. I tried it out a little bit as well, and I am definitely in love with Tonka Cola. Have I been calling this fragrance Cherry Cola? And you guys know I saved the best one for last, the most hyped up one for last, and I'm talking about Dolce & Gabbana's Devotion. And I know you're sick and tired of seeing this bottle. Well, maybe not, because I'm not. But let's take a minute to admire this bottle. This is what captured me, you guys. The bottle is it was always the bottle that captured me, but a few other reviews kind of threw me off, and then people kind of like warmed up to the fragrance. This is like a wheel going down a hill, and you know, like those I don't know if you ever seen it, like a wheel going down the hill, and as it goes down the hill, it picked up people and it's gaining momentum, it's rolling down the hill with a bunch of people spinning around the wheel. That's what, you know, Devotion by Dolce & Gabbana is like. Nonetheless, I hopped onto the wheel. I ain't mad, but let's get the notes and I'll give you my thoughts. So the top notes in Devotion by Dolce & Gabbana are candied lemon. Middle notes are orange blossom, panna cotta, and rum. And base notes are vanilla. And with those notes, I was really intrigued. I thought to myself, what can I possibly expect from this perfume? Okay, I literally went on to Google and looked up what is panna cotta. And I found that panna cotta is it's an Italian dessert. Let me just give it. So panna cotta is actually an Italian dessert, and it has a sweetened cream thickened with gelatin and molded. And the cream has an aromatized coffee essence with vanilla or other flavorings to it, okay? And that's what a panna cotta is. So it has like a sweetened cream thickened essence, like a sweet, thick, you know, creamy vanilla essence with a slightly well, it can have different flavors or whatever, okay? Which is what I'm thinking is like the creamy essence in this perfume. But when I sprayed this perfume, okay, it opened up with a citrusy, zesty, lemony, a little bit mentholy, bittersweet gummy bear essence. It opened with that and it stayed that way for a while. Like, you know, those lemony gummy bears, like a bittersweet, lemon zesty gummy bear with a slight peppery essence to it, slight spicy vibe to it, in my opinion. That's what I got, okay? It indeed smelled candied, hence the gummy bear essence to it. And, you know, it had the sugary sweetness to it. And then there was like a separation in between the fragrance going to like a biscuity, slightly creamy, sweet vanilla biscuit vibe, in my opinion. But it still had that like bittersweet, lemon zesty, candied essence, in my opinion. And the fragrance appeared as if it had two dimensions to it. And it didn't really link for me. Okay, it didn't really link for me. And I sprayed the perfume and I was like, what should this perfume smell like? What exactly does this perfume smell like? And let's just say this is a strong like, okay? But I ain't getting the love. Now, it's different, no doubt, and I do appreciate that. And I think I appreciate it because it's different. And I was going to get myself a bigger bottle, but I got myself the 50 ml. And I'm mad. When you hear me say that, it's a like, but it's not a love. It's a like interesting smelling fragrance. And I am intrigued. I was most definitely intrigued. It smells okay. The perfume smells okay. It smells okay to me. And I will say to you, out of all the fragrances that I hauled, this perfume projects the less. It projects the least. It doesn't project like crazy, okay? As for longevity, it does stay on the skin. I want to say 4 or 5 hours. This perfume, it does have lasting power, no doubt, but it doesn't have a lot of presence necessarily, in my opinion. It does wear quite well. And that is if you don't put it on with a bunch of other fragrance that's overpowering. I do believe this perfume has a beautiful wearing experience because you definitely smell it. You smell the fragrance, but the projection is very, very moderate. The sillage is very, very moderate in my opinion. But it is most definitely a beautiful smelling fragrance. It's different and it's interesting, which is why I said to you guys, this overall haul was challenging because everything hit me like, what was that again? That's how the fragrances hit me. And I do love different smelling fragrances, but these designer brands, the perfumers, they're listening to you guys and they're giving them to you, you guys. They're giving you guys, you want different, you got different, okay? And these are my thoughts on this ever so popular Dolce & Gabbana Devotion. I am happy to have this in my collection. I want to try Acro. I'm a little bit on the edge about trying Acro because of how this smells. I hope I don't feel like it's gonna be a disappointment. I am aware that they said this one smells very, very close to Acro Bake, and the perfumers are the same. I'm hoping that there's something a little bit different in the other one because I'm not getting that rum note in this one, but people often highlight the rum note in the other one. So you know I like liquor, so I need to try that one. I still want to try Acro Bake. Anyways. All right, so there you have it, you guys. I have made it to the end of my most beautiful, interesting, somewhat challenging perfume haul. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If in fact you did, please give me a very big thumbs up. If you made it to the end, please don't leave without hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know that you guys are enjoying my content, okay? And I would love for you guys to become a part of Adriana's world here on YouTube and follow me throughout, you know, exploring, you know, all these different fragrances because I intend to be playing around with quite a few scents throughout the fall and winter season. So please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so that way you guys will be notified every single time I upload. And for those of you who are my returning subscribers, thank you guys for your continued support. And until next time, see you guys in my very next video. Bye.